Hey, I hope that whenever you're tuning into this video, whoever you are, that you're doing okay. Life is really weird right now. Feels really strange, and I'm recording this video under the pressure of feeling really irritated and just, I don't know, bored of the fact that it's just not letting up. The energies are not. Let me not mention any of those words in this video, because I'm trying to tap into the general frequency that I think we're all feeling. I'm very convinced in this moment, thankfully, knowingly, that I'm not the only one feeling this way. That life has just been feeling really, really just depressing, yes, but like this depression is just, it's something else. It's like, it's like I said, it's boring. It's so boring. It puts life on this mundanity that, I hope I used that word right and pronounced it right, but it puts it on this frequency that's just so like blah. And I saw a spiritual leader talk about how the magic is in the mundane and blah blah doo doo doo. And while that's true, when I'm feeling this way, I don't get that. I don't feel it, and I don't want to do too much work in feeling it. I'm bored and depressed. Why do I have to work so hard in trying to transmute and alchemize and whatever this frequency into something? Why can't it just be that, you know? So you catch my vibe. I just did some yoga. As you can see, I'm sitting outside. I literally microdosed like an hour ago. I meditated for 20 minutes. I'm hydrated. I've eaten. I got some time in the sun. You know what I mean? I'm doing everything that you're supposed to do. But I'm still feeling this way. I did a reading for this year. I will link that video in the description. You can check it out if you're in the mood. That honestly spoke of this vibe. It spoke of this feeling and said that this is going to be the energy of 2025. Not so much to like, because it can feel like a punishment, you know, but it's not. It's and I get that. That's the other thing. Like, I understand what this is all about on a spiritual level. I understand that this is here to teach us, I guess, how to master reality and how to master duality and all of that stuff. But like, what the fuck still, you know? Like, what the fuck still? And I don't know if I clarified my intention for this. Is to just, it's more to just to speak to myself, because I rewatch my videos quite often and I re-listen. I record voice notes of these ramblings as well, and I like to tune in to understand who I am. I have a really hard time perceiving myself as a person. I've mentioned this in previous videos. I have Saturn in first house in Pisces, tropical. In sidereal, it's Aquarius. So my whole thing is the self. Perception of the self, understanding the self, and pushing the boundaries and the limits on how I can understand and perceive myself and the self. So I enjoy these. I enjoy doing this for that mission, but also obviously with the hopes of like creating community and connection through offering my truth in this way. I have been feeling this like mundane depression for a while. It's been awkward because on the one hand, like I mentioned earlier in this recording, I understand what's going on. I see what I'm supposed to be processing. I see the lessons. And then on the other hand, there's only so much seeing I can do. The rest I will have to experience. I will have to surrender to this process. I can't speed up my lessons. None of us can. And it feels like a lot about this year is engaging and tackling those lessons, that you're only in control of so much, and the rest will have to be up to forces that are beyond human understanding. And that's where the ideas of spirituality come in. That's the place from which I believe we made God up, so to speak. And that gap of understanding, that gray area, is what I think this whole year is about, and is what this whole year is like probing and poking at within each of us as individuals. So I'm actually really curious to know what atheists are processing. How are they going through this? Because if I'm feeling this kind of like lost, directionless, hopeless, just looking at this whole machine of life and being like, wow, this is a beast. I really wonder how atheists are processing this, you know, or someone who's agnostic, for example, somebody who doesn't have like a clear string of faith or understanding that there is a God, that there is some greater, huger force beyond us that controls and that works at everything that's happening, that's beyond our understanding. That's the big thing about this year that that I feel is being stressed over and over again. As much as you try to understand and you try to predict, you can't. And this has always been true. And it's becoming more and more major and more important to surrender to. I didn't know how annoying I find the surrendering process. I don't know. At this point, I don't know how much surrender I have left in me, to be honest. I feel like every time I face this feeling and I create content like this or I tune into YouTube, whatever, every time I face this feeling, I feel like I'm at my limit. But then, the greater forces that be push me even further and further, expand me and blow me up further and further. And it's like, oh, you thought that was your limit. Well, surprise, you have more to you. Your line is expanding. You have more that you can take in. Your capacity for processing and absorbing is much greater than you thought. I was going to use the word understanding, but listen, I don't fucking understand what the fuck is going on right now. Not just on a global level, on me personally. There's nothing that I get. Let me tell you something. There is nothing that I get right now. Oh my God. I don't understand anything. I don't know shit about fuck. And I said this years ago when I was processing the greatest grief of my whole entire processing kind of grief. I didn't even think I could make it. I didn't think I could make it out of that kind of heartbreak, but I did. I'm here years later, but at what cost? Anyway, I just wanted to tune in and release and be honest. Like I said, these things are really useful for me. I've said in previous videos as well, it's very useful for me to release specifically in this way. Happy Sidereal Gemini season, by the way, as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's already begun by the time I'm recording this video. This is very Gemini coded in general, right? Just communicating, letting things out. I saw via Astro Council Vic, I'll link his profile in the description, that he suggested that this kind of thing is helpful. Going on a walk, talking to yourself, being out in nature, talking to yourself to transmute the energies. I love doing this. I love being alive. I really do. I love being alive. I just really don't get it. And I no longer wish that I understood it so much as I wish that I could accept and surrender to the fact that I don't get it and just have fun anyway and just be in my joy, be myself, regardless of how much I do or don't understand about life. But I'm learning, and I think we all are. And I think it's really, really cool that we're all figuring this out together. So thank you. If you've watched this far, thank you. You're definitely figuring it out with me, right? We're in this together for real. And thank you for that. Thank you for being alive. I've said this in multiple readings before, and I try to communicate this in my social media profiles, in my whole existence, really, that I'm grateful to you if you're choosing to be alive. It's really huge and really major to be doing that in this day and age. Also to make space for the fact that I understand if you don't want to choose to be alive. I really, really get it. But choosing to be alive is implying that by all means, with everything you've got, you're trying your best. And amen. Like, thank you for real. Let's keep going, I guess.